How's everybody doing? Thanks for joining me. And today we're looking at menu number 3 out of a 2026 halal case. This is Jalfrezi with lamb, and this menu looks really interesting and savory. Let's get into this guy. I'm really anxious to see what's in it. These are the new style pouches that the MREs are starting to come in. On the regular MREs, they're going to have the heavy polyvinyl, different color bag with all the information on it. And then in the back, you're going to see the menu card with this clear packaging. Now, normally in the field, there should be little nicks on this bag to actually tear it open. There isn't peelable seals anymore on these. So we're just going to use a knife, and we're going to cut this menu open right from the top, and we'll get into it. If you're interested on seeing the other menus, go back to the playlist, check out the other menus. Every video we're going to drop little tips and tricks, but we're not going to go over them in every single menu. So if there's something you think you didn't hear or see, go check out menu 2, check out menu number 1. We lay out all the menus in menu number 1. We show you what the case looks like. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Camel City Supply Company. You could check them out on the internet. They're running a special code for these videos, MRE EXP10, for 10% off anything on their website. They do have free shipping. Make sure you check the standard shipping. They're not going to ship something 2-day air for free. Just be aware of that, and they're sponsoring these videos. So thank you to Camel City Supply. Let's get into this menu. All right, so our first item is going to be the Jalfrezi with lamb. This is a halal menu. I cover everything in menu number 1 and 2, what that means. And like I said, we're not going over everything in every video. This is a 8-ounce main, 290 calories. One package, 8 ounces, is 227 grams. We have 21 grams of carbs, 12 grams of protein. And check out that ingredient list. That is really nice. Water, lamb, bell peppers, onions, carrots, tomato paste, soybean oil, citric acid, green beans, pineapple juice, seasoning, cornstarch, salt, garlic, turmeric, jalapeno, however you say it, pepper, potato powder, phosphate, red beans, apple cider vinegar, dehydrated. That is a nice, simple ingredients list compared to US MREs. We have an apple turnover. We're starting to see these a lot. Interesting fact about some of the cross use of components from regular MREs to these. You'll see certain components being borrowed from MREs, regular US issue MREs. But what's interesting is you won't see cross components going from halals to regular MREs, but you'll see from regular MREs into halals. So just interesting fact. I think it's a kind of a shame that you won't see certain components going into US MREs, but that's just the way it is. A Bridgeford apple turnover, 3.1 ounces, 88 grams. This is 280 calories. We have 46 grams of carbs, 4 grams of protein. I'll be putting pictures up of all the components at the end of the video with a nutritional breakdown for the macros for those who are interested. Then we have, interesting, an oatmeal cookie, 2.2 ounces, 62 grams. This is 40 grams of carbs, 3 grams of protein. Then we have a beverage base powder lemon lime, 1.2 ounces or 34 grams, and this mixes with 12 ounces of water. This is the higher calorie maltodextrin laden drink, so be aware if you have a 90 calorie drink mix, it doesn't have the maltodextrin as the second ingredient. Usually these are placed in menus when they're lower calorie and they need to boost up the calories to meet the requirements. Then we have, nice, a halal chocolate pudding. This is 4.5 ounces or 128 grams, 200 calories, 31 grams of carbs, 7 grams of fat, 3 grams of protein. I've never had a chocolate pudding out of a halal menu. That's going to be interesting. And that looks like it. We have our flameless ration heater. This is how we actually heat up our meal in the field. All the instructions are on it. There's 2 tear notches, one to open it, one to open it when you're done. First one is to open the bag, slide your main meal in there, add your water to the fill line. Usually it takes about an ounce, ounce and a half. After the meal heats up, then you can rip it on the second tear notch so you don't have to reach into a bag with the steam that's coming out and risk burning your hand. All right. And then we have our accessory packets. They're quite different from what you're used to in a regular MRE. There's no coffee in halal menus. So one thing you have to get used to is that you'll never see a coffee. So we have always a standard napkin for our meal. It's always nice to have a napkin, and it's a pretty decent napkin. It's a little thin, but it's quite large and it is absorbent, so that's a nice touch. Then we have our standard 20 sheets of tissue paper or toilet paper, however you want to use it. We have white tip matches. These are not the DB and Sun. These are Atlas matches, and they're not weather resistant or for damp climates. Then we have a fresh nap to wipe our hands. We have a salt packet, and we have a pepper packet. That's a nice touch in the halals also, having pepper. We have our MRE spoon, and that's our menu. I'm going to trade this up, and we'll be right back. Stand by. All right, we're back. We got everything trade up, and it's looking pretty good. We have our lemon lime flavored no fruit juice drink. We have our apple turnover, which is a Bridgeford product. We have our chocolate pudding, 4.5 ounces, 8 ounces. That looks really good. We have our oatmeal cookie, and that's pretty much it. One thing I'm noticing about this menu, there's a lot of sweet components going on here to make up these calories. We got the oatmeal cookie, we got the apple turnover, we got the drink, and we got the pudding. Seems like this meal is aimed towards the sweet side to get a lot of that energy up. It's a high energy meal, but we'll cover that at the end. So let's start heating this stuff up. Now, in my other videos of the MREs that I did, regular MREs, I constructed this heating blanket kind of contraption. Basically, it's a 1/4 inch packing foam, which I covered in duct tape. I was going to put a strip of Velcro here so it can actually close, but it's actually not necessary. When you're heating up your meals in the field, use whatever you can, whether it's a sweatshirt, a jacket, a towel, something to insulate that pouch, and you will be amazed how much heat can actually retain by insulating it and how it directly affects your meal. You will be amazed on how hot these things could get. Now, granted, this is a newer production case, 2026. They only have a 2-year inspection. They go bad faster if not stored properly. So just be aware of that. They do not carry a 3-year inspection like the regular MREs because the meals are simpler, the main meals. So let's actually get that started. We're going to take our flameless ration heater. We're going to rip it open. This is the heating pad that actually heats up the meal when it gets wet. So we're going to actually slide our main in there. Really avoid the temptation to try to stuff as much as you can in this bag. It's really only designed to hold the main of the meal. If you want to warm up multiple items, I'm a huge advocate for warming up your bread products. If you're in the field, before we get ahead of ourselves, this is what you would use. There's little creases in the cardboard to fold this in to create a little pouch. Fold up your meal, add your water, fold this over, shove this into the pouch, add your other bread products in there too on the outside like this. All right, if you can, put this against it, wrap this in a towel, prop this up against something, and I'm telling you, 15-20 minutes later, you're going to have a warm oatmeal cookie. You're going to have smoking hot main meal, and your apple turnover. You're going to lose your mind when you see how warm it is and how tasty it is. Warm up your bread products. But we're not going to use that. We're going to use this contraption, which anyone can make. I like using this because in the field, it's a nice little seat cushion when you're out in the woods, sitting on a wood stump, on some rocks. It's insulated because it's foam. You won't actually transfer your heat into whatever you're sitting and get cold or wet. So we're going to check this out. Enough talking. Let's get doing. Massage that pad so you can actually get it activated. I'm going to throw that in there like that. We're going to put everything in here. The pudding, right? The apple turnover, and why not? Oatmeal cookie too. See, everything stuffed in there, and you hear that? That heater's taken off. And then we got a little rock here. We're going to prop that up. All right, so since we have nothing really else here, let's talk about this drink. This drink in the field, you would actually use this container as your vessel to consume this beverage. This is the fill line. You could put a little crease in it. All right, so when you actually open it up, you can actually see the fill line from the inside. That's a viewer tip. Lance, thank you again. And it is a very valuable tip because you're never guessing, looking, oh, am I near the fill line? Now, one tip with the maltodextrin-laden drinks, that white stuff you're going to see on the bottom, that's the maltodextrin. Give a little time and let it sit. It will dissolve. We're going to place that right there like that. We're going to give this about 15-20 minutes, so we'll be right back. Stand by. All right, we're back. It's been about a solid 15-20 minutes. We don't need this canteen anymore. Let's put that on the side and get ready for our meal. All right, our heater bag is working absolutely amazing. Yep, we got a nice warm cookie. Our apple turnover is toasty. What else we got in here? Our pudding is smoking hot. And our main meal is really hot. Wow, that is almost too hot to handle. Let's give that a little knead. Make sure all that heat is distributed. All the oils are mixed in. And often when you knead it up, it'll kind of reactivate and start cooking again. But let's see what we got here. Our apple turnover. Yeah, that's nice and toasty warm. That actually smells fantastic. Our oatmeal cookie. That's even nice and toasty warm too. Wow, nice oatmeal smell. I got some cinnamon, some brown sugar. Let's give our drink a mix here. Let's get that out in the cup so everyone can see it. These pouches really do work good. I like that they don't leak. And there's our drink. Perfect. Everything mixed up really nice. There's nothing on the bottom. Give that a try. It has to be one of my favorite drinks, the lemon lime. They really do taste good. No aftertaste, not overly sweet. Now in the field, like I said before, we have tear notches in each corner right here. You tear it open. But since we're plating this up, I'm going to go the shorter end just so it's a little easier to get out. Let's see how that looks. Oh wow, look at that just come pouring out. All right, that looks really good. And that really tastes nice, warm. All right. Wow, this thing really got hot. All right, like I said before, there's a second tear notch right here where the arrows are. Give that a tear. You don't have to reach inside the bag. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this stuff forward just so everyone can see it. All right, we pull this out. We get rid of that. And we bust out our tissues just so we can wipe the outer bag. Whatever chemicals are in that bag, it leaves like a frosty residue on the bag, and I just want to get that off so I'm not handling it. Wipe it off the table. There we go. Now the same thing with the main meal. There are tear notches in each corner. And I'm going to show you. Just grab it and pull it open. And there's our meal. Wow, look at that. That looks absolutely fantastic. Yep, and that's heated up really nice. And the smell that's coming off that, wow. That is super inviting. All right, let's wipe up our drip here. Check that out. That is looking fantastic. A lot of green peppers, green beans. It's got a really nice curry smell to it. Got some really huge chunks of lamb in here. I got red beans, tomatoes. Got a nice smell of garlic to it. I'm not sure if that's a potato. Looks like a little piece of a potato. Carrots, That is really smelling good. And since we have pepper, we're going to use it. It's not a lot of pepper, so don't think that you're going to be able to over season any dish that comes in a halal case. But it's just enough to give it a nice little pepper profile. And I'm not going to put the salt in because I think it's going to be just right. All right, let's give this a try. Wow. It's almost like first impressions is like a hearty vegetable stew, but then you taste the beans and that lamb meat really comes out nicely in it. And you get like a whiff of a curry, but Jalfrezi is not a curry-based dish. That is absolutely fantastic. I'm really blown away at the amount of vegetables that are in this. The green beans, the potatoes. You can taste a nice profile of onions and garlic. That is a really fantastic menu. All right, let's check out this apple turnover. Look at that. That thing is packed with apples. Apple filling, and then inside you got the apple filling, and then throughout the dough you have little bits of apple mixed in. Look at that. That is absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness. I just got a bite of huge amounts of apple filling, and that bread is so soft. I'm not even sure if this is an MRE component. I mean, because this is freaking fantastic. This goes so nicely with this Jalfrezi. Very nice, rich broth, tomato based, and then you get the doughy bread bite with the filling of apples. That really complements the dish. Let's try something here because these go so well together. I'm curious. Yep. Oh, that goes so well together. The apples and the Jalfrezi with lamb. This menu is very sweet, laden, heavy. Excuse me. You got the oatmeal cookie, you got the chocolate pudding, you got the apple turnover, you got the sweet lemon lime drink. Most of the calories from this meal are from these 3 or 4 components. The 3 components and the drink. Only about, I believe, 280 calories come from the meal. So this meal is a little lopsided. They should have included something savory, like crackers, to go with the Jalfrezi. If you haven't had any halal meals, I'm telling you, go to Camel City Supply, use the code, get 10% off. I'm telling you, you will not be sorry you picked up a case. The carrots, the green beans, the turmeric, tomato flavor. I mean, this is just so complex for an MRE. I'm at a loss for words. Just got a big chunk of lamb. Had great texture. You can actually feel it's a quality cut of meat. Look at this chunk right here. I gotta break this up just so we could look at that. Look at that huge chunk of meat right there. You can see the fibers in it. That's a decent cut. It's not processed. Mix that up with the rest of the meal. And we're almost done. I can't believe this. Wow, that was amazing. That has to be so far the best main out of menu 1, 2, and 3. This has to take the first place. The other components kind of drag this meal down because they're so carb heavy, sweet heavy, sugar laden. But that has to be the best one so far. Let's mop some of this sauce up. That goes so well with the Jalfrezi, that apple turnover, especially if it's warm, and that filling. Look at that. All right, let's finish this up. This was absolutely such a great pairing with these two together. Let's check out this chocolate pudding. Nice texture. Nice rich chocolate smell. That's a good taste. Very rich, very thick. There is a little bit of a gritty taste to it. It's almost like if you were to make a chocolate pudding with a protein shake, but I'm not getting any off taste from it. Yeah, every single bite has almost like, and when I mean gritty, I mean like if you put the chocolate between your teeth, you can actually taste like undissolved chocolate powder grit, but then it goes away. You can't taste the grit on your tongue. It's not like that kind of gritty, but I'm telling you, it's not off-putting, and it doesn't affect the quality of the pudding at all. That is absolutely a fantastic pudding. Very rich, no aftertaste. That's off-putting. That's a fantastic. I'm almost getting like hints of vanilla in this chocolate. That is fabulous. Wow. That didn't even last a second on this tray. I thought the butterscotch pudding was good. This is on a whole nother level. All right. Before I completely scoff that thing down, what an oatmeal cookie. Look how thick that is. Nice scent of spice, cinnamon. It's nice and warm from warming it up. Let's get a little chocolate pudding on the oatmeal cookie. I'm telling you, these oatmeal cookies are, they have to be my favorite cookies out of all the MREs because they are such a beefy, substantial oatmeal cookie. They got fantastic flavor to them. Really nice texture with the oatmeal. I mean, you can actually see the oatmeal in the cookie. And on their own, they're fantastic. With the pudding, chocolate pudding, oh my God. It just kicks it up to a whole nother level. And what a fantastic texture. It's not hard or dry by any means. Just enough firmness to keep it together from crumbling. It's not dry. There's almost a decent amount of moisture in this. And then when you add pudding on top of it, oh, divine. All right, as we haven't had enough sugar, let's down some more. All right, so let's recap how this meal was. We had the Jalfrezi with lamb, Outstanding. I give that entree about an 8.5 out of 10. The Jalfrezi is one of the more interesting menu components in this halal case I've encountered so far. The lamb provides protein, while the vegetables gives it 5 grams of fiber. All the different spice profiles, like the garlic, the turmeric, the jalapeno, makes it a substantial and more complex than a typical MRE entree. The sides, excellent variety and a lot of calories, but it's almost too dessert oriented. The chocolate pudding, the oatmeal cookie, the apple turnover, the lemon lime fruit drink, huge sweet lineup. There's no savory starch such as rice, crackers, or a bread component to accompany the Jalfrezi. But it doesn't take away from it. There's a lot of good energy in this meal and definitely a really decent menu. Nutrition, I give this about a 7.5 out of 10 at 1,410 calories. This is a substantial single meal in the field. Has a decent amount of fiber in it and a decent amount of protein and fat. The weakness is how they distribute the calories. 2/3 of this meal, you're getting the calories from the cookie, the apple turnover, the pudding, and the drink. Only about 280 calories are coming from the actual main. Overall menu balance, 7.5. Overall score, I definitely give this an 8 out of 10. Menu 3 is a strong halal meal with an unusual, interesting lamb entree, excellent component variety. The biggest weakness in this meal is its balance. We have the 3 savory sides and the sweet beverage. This menu comes in at 1,440 calories total, which is plenty of energy there. It's just distributed a little lopsided. Let me know what you thought about this menu. Would you eat it? Have you eaten it? What were your thoughts on it? Throw it in the comments section. Let's talk about it. I really enjoyed this menu, and I would definitely have it again. All right, well, I'm going to finish the rest of this off camera. It's a lot of sweets for me, and I'm starting to feel the buzz from all the sugar. Plus, I'm craving a cup of coffee to go with this oatmeal cookie. Let's look at what we're going to be looking at next for next week. This is going to be a chicken stew, menu number 4. Be on the lookout for it. This is going to probably be pretty decent chicken. Looks like we have a lot of good ingredients in here, and I'm definitely interested in trying this to see what the chicken kind of tastes like in these halal menus. Thank you again for everyone. Don't forget to check out Camel City Supply. Use the code MRE EXP10. They're sponsoring these videos, and I want to say thank you so much. 10% off on anything you want to purchase with free shipping. Standard free shipping. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.